Happy New Year's. Welcome back. Seen as an intro, Mustang's out there doing what it always does, and that's ripping as best I possibly can. I'm bringing you this new year with the little project I'm starting off. I have a bunch of little projects lined up this year, don't we all, right? That we're gonna try to tackle, but I'm getting started right on this one. I wanted to get full bore on this one, and that's E85, my single turbo Mustang. As you've seen, I'm single turboed. eBay GT45 turbo. Won't get too much into that because I already did a review last video, so if you're interested in that, check that out. I was twin, but I decided I wanted to kind of maneuver this thing around the city a little bit more, and singles a little bit for me. Yeah, I still got an exhaust got the hood, but I can even trim that down a little bit more. It'll be even a little lower, and to be quite honest, almost inconspicuous as much as it possibly can. But what we're doing here with this E85 system is I'm gonna try to create the most budget-friendly E85 system I can possibly create for my setup now, and that's what I'm gonna go over right now. So check it out. Okay, guys, we're in this. Let's get this right into us. So I've been looking into E85 systems, and they're pricey, man. You know, I mean, to some maybe not, you know, but to me, yeah. I got a whole family here that you obviously got to prioritize, and they're pricey. Cheapest I found was the Li Tuning Racing, about $1,300 plus tax, 14, something around there, and it's complete push-on, bolt-on, uses your 16 rails, it uses adapters, uses your original feed line. It just gives you a return line. So I'm looking, and then I look into the Beefcake Racing right now has a good system right now. About $1,700 will get you a good system, right around 1,000 horsepower system. E85, you can even get a controller for it, for dual pumps. Very nice. I thought of that one, but that's still reaching a little bit too much, man. I got things I got to do. So I thought about it. I started looking at the Li Racing one, and I started seeing how they're building theirs. And they're just, they got the GT500 pump that they probably modified or whatever they're doing. Probably didn't even. It probably just bolts on. They give you the dual pump wiring harness, which you need because now you're going from 1 to 2. So I can see why you need a harness for that, right? They got the relays and all that stuff, which I'm sure I can build with the 2 pumps. And then they use the existing stock feed line to feed your adapters with the rail, billet rail. That billet rail comes out with the 1/8" NPT to a 6AN adapter you can get that feeds into your regulator. You regulate your fuel, obviously, and then you get the return line coming back. And I noticed on the GT500 pump, they're tapping into it already through a bulkhead, fuel cell bulkhead, through a bulkhead, and it comes out with the 6AN, because that's what they mainly use, the 6AN. They're saying it's 1,000 horsepower cable with 2 pumps. So I'm like, you know what? Why can't I do the same? Right? I started thinking, I'm not going to get the 1,000 horsepower capability because I'm only going on 1 single pump. But then I started looking, DW right now has a pump, increases as 1 pump. It's not going to get you the 1,000 horsepower in 85, but they rate it right around 700, 750 horsepower. Which some of you, oh man, that's, you're limited, but you know what? It's price effective. And 700 horsepower is a lot of freaking horsepower. 750 is a lot of horsepower for an E85 system. And if it's rated for gas, if I really do want to go back to the MS109, I'm rated at 1,000 with that pump. So I really can pick and choose, since I got MS109 accessible. I got E85, which I wanted more accessible, most practicable for me. And I'm looking for the most cost-effective system to make. And E85 right now is the most system, and a return style system, in my opinion, is a little better. I'm running a booster pump on here. That's going to be able to run a little bit more voltage. It's going to have a bigger pump existing to the stock. It's going to produce it better, and it's going to keep our original wiring. So what I'm thinking of doing, to get right to it, I'm going to do a similar GT500 style. Put a bulkhead here, 6AN, more than likely running like this, so I can run it back through the, trace this line here, the feed line, run it back to the front. Once I get it through here, it's pretty much done. Run it underneath the car, kind of bolt it down, and feed, and then drain the car, return the car with the E85. But they're doing it. I'm gonna see if I can do it. I've already ordered the parts. I think on parts alone, with the pump, I was even gonna swing away and try to see if I don't even need to use the pump, and see how much I can get away with that stock pump. But I wanted to do something a little bit more right, and might as well get in there, upgrade that pump, which is about $280, about $300 with tax, brand new DW. pop that in there, and the rest of the parts that I spent on was a little under 200 bucks through eBay, through getting fittings, bulkhead, adapters, fuel line, all that other stuff you get on eBay, guys. So I'm about a little over $500 in on a new pump that I'm going to use my existing fuel hat, change the pump, run all my stuff in there, adapt to my fuel well. I'm going to be able to run E85 with the return style, which is what Lund like. Get through to Lund, that's another price that you got to pay, the whatever you're paying for the Lund, if it's new or whatever. Existing customers like myself, I'm paying $500 to retune it completely, since I'm boosted and all that. But that's another story. But just in fuel system requirements, you can go whoever you want through tuning. Your existing stock one is about 500 bucks. Now, you know, I do have a fuel pump, a BAP booster pump that I do have on that is obviously helping, which I'm going to run with my return style system. I'm thinking right now, if you kind of need that when you go through it, you can probably get away with it. NA, you can get away with it for sure. You don't need a BAP. You can run E85 on the return less style, but return style is a little better. You know, you can run this same system. So $500 in. If you want to run a boosted application with the booster pump, then you got to add another $250, whatever much you get your BAP for. Get the Kenny Bell one. So that's five, 6, 7, that's $750, which I can see why. Now that I'm talking to you guys, I can see why some guys will probably just go for the light return style system, dual pump with that BAP, but it just already had the BAP. So I'm kind of using that existing. So I'm kind of throwing that out there because that's already there. But like I said, I'm not gonna, you know, keep going on. Maybe you guys are interested in what I'm saying. You guys are interested in starting your own. If you are in a similar situation as I am with the BAP, I can say now that I'm talking to you guys about, if you don't have the BAP or nothing, it's probably just recommended that you get a dual pump system. You can get a cost-effective one through Lie. But if you're in a similar situation, you are boosted, you're running a BAP, you're running pump gas, but you want to go E85, perhaps this solution will work for you. You can use your stock existing pump. I mean, am I going to use it forever? Probably not. But I do want to kind of, you know, use a cost-effective thing, get E85 as quickly as possible. I want to go to the track more. It was just hitting me a lot last year. Going to the track is with the MS-109, just hitting the pockets pretty deep. Every single time I go, you're talking about $300-400. And now I'm going to minimize that way more than half with the E85, $2.60 a gallon. So that's why I'm doing this. Enough with the talking. Not going to get started on it yet. Kind of just wanted to go over it with you guys of what's going on, since I've been off the YouTube for a little bit. But I am going to drive this girl a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn her on and then see how she's doing. All right, man, we're back in it. I mean, I'm telling you, she feels good, man. You guys caught my GT45 review. The car's been running great. I didn't get a co-start for you guys because, you know, I was already turned on, but it you know, turns on fine. And she feels great. I did have a little turbo leak from my feed, but I situated that already. That just took some better fittings, more of a cleaner setup, minimize any type of extra fittings or hoses you don't need. Took care of that. But as you can see, I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear great through the vid. I mean, but she's loud, you know, but not crazy loud. That's why I want to try to keep it as daily-ish as possible, you know. That's like my goal right now. I want to go to the drag strip. I want to come home. You know, a true street strip. That's my whole goal with her right now. You know, I got some other ideas coming up too for it that I want to make it a little bit more reliable, a little bit more cooler. But that's, you know, another video. Right now, we're preparing this thing for some E85. Kind of getting her warmed up a bit. Maybe hit a little bit of boost right now. But it's a little chilly out here, which is good, but it's taking me a while to warm up. That's some cold air. That's nice.